going to look at some conversation today, some basic conversation skills using Second Life, and there are three items we'll take a look at. One of the items that might be useful when we're beginning is some of the help features of the Second Life viewer. So we'll have a look at that, and then we'll also look at the difference between text chatting and instant messaging, or IM. So let's use the help key here, the help menu item right at the top of the Second Life viewer on the right. We'll left click with the mouse button and it brings down this drop down menu, and there's many different forms of information on this menu. Let's just click on How To. The How To is the very basic information for beginning, and it brings up this separate window, and so it's showing how to walk. In this case, gives some indication. If you click on the little triangle next to the walk letters, you can see a list of all the items that are there that we can pick for information on how to. So we're going to select chat, and it gives us the steps that we need to chat. Now, it's important to get the distinction that chat is not private. So it's broadcast, whatever you type into the chat will be broadcast locally to all the avatars in your immediate surroundings. So kind of be aware of that. The instant messaging, on the other hand, is private. So if you have a message that you want to direct to a specific individual, a private message, then you would use a different formula. You would use instant messaging or IM, which we'll take a look at after the chat. So getting back to the chat, these instructions say click the chat button, and that's right at the bottom of the screen here. It says chat, and there's a sort of a message bubble here. We click on that and it opens this conversations window, and the conversations window has a couple of items here. One is what's selected here is this green box on the left that says nearby chat. So again, that's a reminder that that's what you're going to be broadcasting. And then there's a little box over on the right side on the bottom, that light colored box that again says nearby chat. Again, that's a reminder. And so if we can go ahead and just type something here arbitrarily, you'll see there's an animation of the avatar typing, and also there's the sound of keys clicking. And then if we press the enter key, that sends the chat out to folks in the vicinity. So that's basically all you need to know there to begin chatting. Of course, there's so many ways that you could do this in an alternate way, but you would end up with the same box, conversations box, that you're doing your chatting from. If you wanted an alternate method, you could click communicate and nearby chat from there, and again you get the same box that you're typing your chat in. So that's covered nearby chat. The second form of communication is called private chatting or instant messaging, IM, and it's a little bit more complicated because now you have another step where you're actually going to indicate who your message is going to. So that's going to be an additional step. And you've also got to indicate somewhere that this is an IM or a private chat. So this how-to box, because it's just a simple set of instructions, it's showing you one way only of sending a instant message. And the way it's showing you is the way that you would do it if there was an avatar that you could see standing somewhere near to you, and you wanted to send that avatar, that person, an instant message. So you would simply right click their avatar and it would bring up this box here, and from that box you would left click with the mouse button on I am. That would select I am, and then you would start typing. I don't have anybody set up here, so I can't really show you that. But what we'll do is we'll take a look at the next way of doing this, and then you'll be able to see this idea of selecting I am and starting to type. So the second way we're going to select someone is by clicking on people here. And actually we have no one nearby here that we can send a message to. So when we select people, this is for somebody, again, that's not immediately on hand but is online, and we would select their icon. Their name would appear here in this people box. We would right click on their name and it would bring up that I am box that we saw before. Let's just get that back. And a private chat. So right clicking on the name box over here under people would bring up this I am box, and you would select I am, and then you would get a white bar that you can type the message in. So I haven't been able to go through either of these steps fully with you there. What we'll do is we'll have a look at a third method. If the person's name is not showing up, in other words they're offline, then we have a different way that we can do this. So what we're going to do is, again, let's bring up the chat box, the conversations box, and we don't have anybody else online that we can send an instant message to. We don't have anybody close by. If they were close by, they would show up here. If they were online but not close by, we would have to use the people selector to find them. In this case, we're pretty lonely here. It's just ourselves. But we still want to send Zax a message. So what we're going to do is press this plus key up here to start a new conversation, and we'll type in Zax, and we'll say go, and we know the username he's usually using is Zax Constantine at the moment. So now we'll press OK. So now his name does appear here, even though he's offline. We can now access him. If we right click on his name, just to go through these steps over here, we finally got a name here that we can go through these steps with. We right click on the name. We now click I am for instant message. Now the box is ready here for an instant message to Zax. So again, I'll just say ignore, please. It's just a test. And when we press enter, now that message, that instant message has gone to Zax. And if he's not online, that message will actually be stored for him so he can access it later when he is online. So again, just to go through these quickly again to summarize, you can instant message to an avatar That's if the avatar is standing near to you, you can. It's always right click, select I am, and then start typing. You can instant message if there's a name up here. If they're online but they're not local to you, their name will show. You would click on their name to select it, like Zax's is here, and then you would right click on their name, select I am, and now you're ready to type. And then if the person isn't here at all, nowhere to be found, then you can select or find their name by typing it, going go, searching, and again you can simply go OK, and in this case Zax is already here, but if he wasn't, he would appear there. Again, we click I am, right click I should say, and then to open this menu, and then we click I am, and then we do the typing. So it's a little bit complicated. Again, you might find there are some shortcuts that you can try, but the main thing to remember is for use private messaging when you want to direct a text message to a single individual, and the steps for that generally involve either right-clicking their avatar or right-clicking their name when it's in the conversations box, so that you can select I am, and then you can start typing, and always press the enter key to send the text off to the person. So good luck with that, and keep on